Episode Israel. Yeah, I mean, anyone who thought this was a professional operation was sorely mistaken. But this is episode 64, update of the regime change / liberation / what else do they call it? Military operation, not really a war. Yeah, calling it everything but a war.
Everything but. And then
turns out,
dude, the Iranians have been great at trolling Trump. They've made all these Lego movies. Have you seen them?
Oh yeah, I can play a couple. I have a couple pulled up.
Oh, far away, I can laugh my ass. But one of the best quick ones that I saw was like, one of them was like, "We've declared victory for the 35th time today, Mr. President." Yeah, every time I turn around, he's like, "We declare victory," and I'm like, "You guys said we won 2 weeks ago."
Fucking Aaron called me and he was just like, he thinks it was planned that just 4 or 5 days, well, 5 days ago at this point, Hegseth and Trump were both saying that they had air superiority. They're flying planes over Tehran. There's nothing they can do about it. And then like a few days later, they're like, F-15 shot down, Black Hawk shot down, one pilot outstanding. It's
they built their entire country over the last 30 years to deal, like, to fight us. They knew that they were going to get taken out. It was going to be the U.S. that was coming to take them out, right?
Yes.
Everything's underground. Everything's mobile. Decoys on top of decoys. Large amount of terrain. Like F-15, no stealth, right? No, but still, dude, they got shit that they can pop up all over the place. And fucking, you're never going to have complete air superiority in that country. Because they just spent 40 years getting ready to fight exactly what you are sending out.
Digging holes in the fucking desert that can just open up and then fucking launch missiles out of them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna carpet bomb the entire geographical area of Iran. Like, good fucking luck. You know, I mean, it's costing us what, fucking $1 billion to $2 billion a fucking day over there now or some shit.
Hanks up 220 billion, right?
Yeah, because I mean, the Iranians are pretty open about this. Like, and anyone, like, I just want to preface this. It's not like me and Dan are on the Iranian regime side. We're not. Fuck those people. However, our side, you would say the American side, is clearly doing something fucking stupid and not in our interest. So you get what you fucking deserve sometimes.
Attacking Iran made my life better. We got to spend more money. Gas is fucking up $2 a gallon.
Yes.
Like nothing beneficial comes from us attacking Iran. For us, for me personally, right? U.S. service members in harm's way, all that. But I'm just saying, me personally in my life, just go right down to the fucking lowest comp. How does you invading Iran help me? It doesn't. Zero. It costs me more fucking money.
Well, it's because you're saying that your interests don't align with this other country that actually attacked Iran first, which that can't be true because everything they do is in our interest. They're our greatest ally. That means they're your greatest ally. Which let's tackle that first because me and you haven't talked about this. I talked about it with Aaron a little bit, but this was in the early stages of the war. That there are still people that will argue with me right now, today. I was arguing with someone, and you know who I'm talking about. But there was somebody I was arguing with today, but I've been arguing for the past couple weeks that Israel, our greatest ally, is the reason why we attacked Iran right now. Because people are saying, no, we've been at war with them for 40 years. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? We've been at war with them for 40 years. Like, no, like, okay, we've been at war with them for 40 years. Then why did we just decide to fucking carpet bomb Tehran 3 weeks ago? You know, like there was no reason.
That's Trump trying to say, the Trump people try to find a way around saying that he started a new war. No, we've been at war with them for 40 years. And that, and also they're saying essentially that Israel and the U.S. are the same thing. Like Israel is like, the CEO of the United States and they run the U.S. So if Iran is at war with Israel, then Iran is at war with the United States. That's how they're justifying that shit.
I get it. They're our greatest ally or whatever. But the argument, let's lay out the arguments real quick. Because the first argument was the nuclear shit, right? Like, they have a nuclear program, which allegedly, according to our own DNI, we annihilated, last summer. Apparently, we didn't really annihilate it. So somebody's
got to go further back. You got to go further back, dude, on the net.
I'm saying that their reason.
Yeah. Even their reasoning. They've drawn red lines and they keep on moving it. Like they put in 2004, I think it was, the Iranians agreed not to weaponize uranium. And that was the red line.
They did a fatwa against it. Well, the guy who did the fatwa is now dead.
Now dead. Yeah. So they did that. Then they moved the red line again to no nuclear enrichment, no uranium enrichment. And that's when we did Operation Midnight Hammer.
Sure.
And now they moved it again, and the Israelis jumped it off by attacking to know what the fuck do they even want. They just keep on moving the line, bro. They're never It's the same MO that they always do. There's no negotiating with them. Gaddafi showed that what happens if you negotiate with them in good faith. Like,
they get raped to death by a knife.
I understand what the Iranians' position on this. Yeah, fuck you guys. Like, we've put in bed with a bunch of scumbags.
And what's funny about that is that a lot of Trump supporters don't know this, but Iran signed a deal. This is with Obama. Signed a deal to be part of the non-proliferation treaty countries. Like, our greatest ally isn't even part of that for mysterious reasons. But they would have to have weapons over. But Iran had, up until very recently, had inspectors. The reason why we knew they were enriching is because we had fucking IEA, whatever the fuck that acronym is. We had that nuclear, UN nuclear proliferation outfit was in Iran auditing their fucking sites. That's how we knew what they were enriching to. Like, they were openly having inspectors in, they allowed it to randomly 2 of the 3 sites. But a lot of the Trump supporters don't know that they were committed to the non-proliferation shit, they had agreed to with Obama. And they can say, well, fuck them, fuck Obama, or whatever. But that's pretty important piece. Like, if you put all this in totality, right? In 2004, they have a fatwa against ever, weaponizing a nuclear war. They have a holy order against using nuclear weapons, and they agree to a non-proliferation treaty, and they allow inspectors in. It seemed like they were bending over backwards to not get into war with us. But like you said, they wanted the war and they just kept moving the goalposts. So they were going to get it eventually. All the unpopular wars are done under Republicans, but
dude, that's why Theo Vaughn just went off on Joe Rogan, and basically
I'm halfway. I didn't like Joe's response. Joe said you're going bananas or something. When Theo was like, what the fuck?
You're depressed and you're going something or other. But it's the hopelessness of the situation. This is why everyone's like just shitting on Trump, is like everyone ran around here for 10 years. Like, all right, finally, we've jumped every hurdle. We've cleared every fucking this, that, the other thing. And it's like, you can go back and listen to the podcast. As soon as they put Thune and Mitch McConnell is 1 and 2 in the Senate, and then Johnson is the House, I knew we were fucked. We were really going to what we want. This has been a whole level of betrayal never before seen. Tim Dillon just went on and was like, the greatest rug pull in the history of politics. Sure. The greatest rug pull in the history of politics.
Yeah, but did you see that?
Doesn't need to be fought. We have a war here in this country. It's called fucking deportation that needs to be played. That's the war that needs to be played in this country. We have a war that needs to be fought. It's on this soil.
I agree. And I've been spending a lot of time trying to convince people that is a legitimate war that is going on. It's an invasion. Like, I stopped viewing these people as immigrants and I view them as invaders. I have freedom of speech, and that's what I think. I think they're invading. These people have invaded.
Running a billion tax fraud scam centered on basically health and childcare. Using compassion, the compassion of the American people, the initial compassion, be like, oh, healthcare and childcare? We know that's a voting issue, and then they've weaponized it, dude. It's so trashy. It's like,
and that's one state. Imagine what happens when that's Minneapolis or Wisconsin. Wait till they fucking look at California, dude.
They already have, dude. There was more. I saw something. There was more people that applied for unemployment and benefits than there were in the entire state.
Oh, that checks out. Yeah. Yeah, dude. So that's a straight up war, and not a shot was fired. We were invaded, and not a shot was fired. Biden imported who knows how many, over 10 million people, but at least. Not a shot was fired. Some people were stabbed. More of us, none of them. But you know, I mean, I guess shots were fired because they did shoot some people. Some illegal aliens did definitely shoot people. Yeah, dude, that's a fucking straight up war. That's the war we should be talking about. But now we're sitting here talking about this bullshit war that is probably the most unpopular war going in, even more unpopular than Vietnam. Because at least Vietnam, they had the decency to do a false flag with the Gulf of Tonkin and shit. Israel just killed Khomeini on day one.
Well, yeah, 2 points here. One, like when you play like a war game, right? Like if you have a piece on the battlefield, right?
Yeah.
And then I take my piece and I blow that piece up. That's like people can conceptualize that as war, right? Because my action removed your piece. Well, in a lot of games, like resource games and whatnot, you don't mess with the actual piece. You mess with the person's ability to produce the piece. You follow what I'm saying? And that's a form of warfare that I'm conducting in the game, right? So if the United States generates $10 trillion a year and 10% of it is getting scammed off by foreign fraud, you get what I'm saying? It's an aspect of warfare that no one even looks at it in that kind of way, right? Like,
well, I mean, it seems like the oil aspect of this is hitting not just us, but it's hitting kind of everybody. The Gulf states is hitting Europe especially hard. It's fucking everybody up. I mean, like, I don't know what they thought. They thought that they could fucking. I mean, somebody had to have lied to Trump, right? Because I'm assuming the generals had to have known this is what was going to happen, that they had functional control over the Strait of Hormuz. Like, they had to have known that, even if they were like, what?
They told them the people were going to rise up and throw him out. They killed Khomeini, and they'd have it, boom, boom, boom. And they were like, "We'll get the Kurds," and the Kurds were like, "Yeah, nah, seen this movie, no, thank you, dipping on that." You know,
that was funny in the early days of the war, right? Trump was like, "Oh, we liberated the people of Iran," and then that turned into them carpet bombing those people that he said he liberated pretty quickly.
Yeah,
you know, so because it turns out they did rise up. Yeah, and then blowing up that girls' school, and then lying about it initially, which was retarded. Like, he was clearly hit by a Tomahawk missile, which is like the West is pretty much the only ones who have a Tomahawk missile. And we are the only ones with 2 aircraft carriers. Well, now 3 in the region. You know, clearly we fucking blew that school up, and I don't think that was an accident. There's just no way that was an accident.
There had to be something. They just targeted a girls' school. Like,
well, they say it's because it was a bunch of IRGC top leadership had their kids in that school, is what the reports are. I mean, which makes sense, but then think about what that means. You know, that the U.S. killed a bunch of kids.
Ever seen The Sopranos, bro?
Of course,
The Sopranos
multiple times.
Where Tony has flashbacks when he's a little kid. His dad always used to take his sister to go to the carnival boardwalk on the Sunday, and he wouldn't go. He wouldn't take Tony with him. He'd only take the sister. Well, he ends up, the reason why they were all taking, all the Italian mobsters were taking their sister or their daughters to Sunday fun day with the family so they could all conduct business to throw the cops off the scent of them, like, you know, doing work. So we go there and drop. So, like, it could have been a cover. Like, I think, like, here's where I'm at on the level of where I 100%. The U.S. will 100% kill 150 small girls without batting an eyelash. There will need to be some type of reason behind it. Now, if you're telling, like, there was something like an IR, like, hidden there or some bullshit that we were a person. Maybe that dude was going to pick up his daughter from fucking daycare. You know what I'm saying? Like, but there was a reason on that. And
but they have that jihadi blender thing that will literally just kill the person in the car. Like, they didn't need to blow up the entire fucking school, you know? That's Israeli shit.
That means it tells me that something, that site has probably had something going on with it.
You would hope, dude. You would hope. I don't fucking even know at this point anymore. I have no idea. But yeah, so it went from liberating to regime change to all right, let's get into this real quick. I have a video pulled up I want to play because these fucking people that still argue that this is was not initiated because of Israel. let's listen to the Secretary of State / head of the fucking NSA / I don't even know what Marco Rubio's in charge of fucking everything at this point. Boom.
Oh, that's Jared Kushner.
Yeah. Well, remember that he promised that Jared Kushner would not be fucking he would not be in any meaningful part of the government or whatever. Let me remove this.
And then he's just negotiating with Iran right before the war.
Yes.
They're not for the military action. Yeah, dude, it's just so bad. And then this is why it's hilarious to watch them just fumble because they've stopped the deportation things. No Doge. It's just a train wreck, dude.
Yeah. Seems like MAGA's been fucking everything except maybe security. Yeah. Except they secured the border, I guess, to a degree. Here, tell me if you can hear this, Dan.
The second question that's been asked is,
why now?
Well, there's two reasons why now. The first is it was abundantly clear that if Iran came under attack by anyone, the United States or Israel or anyone, they were going to respond against the United States. The orders had been delegated down to the field commanders. It was automatic, and in fact, it bared to be true because, in fact, within an hour of the initial attack on the leadership compound, the missile forces in the south and in the north, for that matter, had already been activated to launch. In fact, those had already been pre-positioned. The third is the assessment that was made that if we stood and waited for that attack to come first before we hit them, we would suffer much higher casualties. And so the president made the very wise decision. We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew there was going to be an Israeli action. That's very important. Precipitate an attack against American forces.
After Israel attacked them, we knew they were going to attack us.
And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher those killed. And then we would all be here answering questions about why we knew that and didn't act.
So right there, that is fucking Secretary of State, fucking Marco Rubio telling you explicitly that Israel attacked them and we attacked them preemptively because Israel attacked them and they knew that anyone who attacked them, they would just start hitting everyone in the region, Americans and Israelis, because they view us as the same shit, right? But that was Israel doing that. So Dan, why do you think that if they didn't want this to happen, why didn't they just tell them?
By the way, that Marco Rubio is the one to give up that little nugget. That's pretty crazy.
Oh, and they've all since admitted it since then, after a lot of back and forth.
I know, it's crazy that he's the one to give it up because he's Israel's boy. He
oh yeah,
he's a big ball kisser. So
yeah, so that pretty much puts the nail in the coffin that this was not because of Israel. No, this is the Secretary of State telling you Israel attacked them, so we attacked them because we knew they were going to attack us because Israel attacked them. And then on day one, they assassinated Khomeini, and Khomeini could have been in a bunker. He could have hid, but no, he chose to be martyred with his immediate family. I think they killed 6 members of his family, his granddaughter, his niece, his nephew, the current Ayatollah's, sister and niece or whatever. Like, yeah, dude, like this was clearly, we did this on behalf of the Israelis, straight up. Like, yeah. And like you said, because we don't benefit, but there is a country in the Middle East that does benefit from the last country, the 7 countries in 5 years. Iran's the last one that hasn't fallen. And it looks like it's, they got what they wanted. They got Big Brother. And this is the other thing. The ground invasion that's going to happen, Israel's already stated multiple times that they will not be committing troops to a ground invasion. They're not even helping us find the F-15 pilot that was shot down.
I can't wait for internal politics on the U.S. to for this coming midterm election where the Democrat primaries happened already.
No, I think they happen. They happen soon though.
So anyway, the whole entire debate on there would be War Powers Resolution Act. If we get the House, we're gonna basically War Power Resolution Act Trump from being able to do any of this shit. And that would be if I was a Dem, if I was running as a Dem, that's what I would be running down people's throat right there. I think you could actually, really, the Republicans played themselves so bad that they're in a position to just become as irrelevant as the Dems were looking a year ago, the Republicans are 2 years away from being that irrelevant.
I don't know what's going on with your camera, but it looks like you have a face blur on. I think it's your lighting. Maybe you don't have enough lighting for your camera.
Going for sinister shadow.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, this is an anonymous source here that's also the co-host of the podcast. But yeah, no, dude, I think you're fucking right, man. The Democrats, dude, they were basically they moved themselves into obscurity after what happened, you know, all throughout Obama to Biden's fucking horrific administration, to them fucking running Kamala through no democratic process. She was never fucking nominated or anything. That party was fucking done. And then Trump fucked up so badly that now they could do exactly what you said. They could just run on being like, hey, we're gonna get the House, because I think the midterms are gonna be a bloodbath for the Republicans. If you look at, if CPAC is any kind of indicator, because CPAC was like way down than it historically has been. I mean, they might have had 200 people for some of these events, which is nothing for CPAC. But the Democrats can come out and say now, hey, we're going to get the House. We're going to obviously impeach Trump for who knows what, everything. And then we're gonna put a bunch of bills forward saying that the president can't just unilaterally fucking wage these bullshit wars. And then they will become the anti-war party. And historically, the anti-war party always fucking wins. Not that any of them are actually anti-war, but they all say it, Oh yeah, your camera's way better now. But yeah, so now Trump just handed the Democrats a whole fucking platform to get back in the game, where they were pretty much done after the last 4 years of Biden.
Yeah, dude, all you had to do was mass deportations, no new wars, deep state arrest. And the number one thing on the deep state arrest, the big flashy object on the deep state arrest, was the Epstein files. You could include COVID, you can include all the other shit, but the Epstein files, because the pedophilia thing, he's off for fucking 3. It's fucking done. He's done.
Yeah. I don't know what dude, it's harder and harder to defend that Israel doesn't have some kind of fucking hold over this guy. Did you see he just shit canned Pam Bondi?
Yeah, dude, but dude, here's the thing. It can't just be hold over him. Cause like they would if sacrificing him would solve this problem, they would do it. You follow me?
Yeah.
They would just do it. They would be like, okay, it was a good asset. We cut the losses and blah 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 blah. This Epstein thing has to be so big and like structural to the entire operation that they can't let it out.
Well, they are in violation of law. I mean, Thomas Massey forced them to release everything, and there's still 3.5 million documents or something that they just are refusing to release in violation of law of this bill that the Epstein Transparency Act or whatever. I mean, they just said, fuck you. We have all the guns. What are you going to do about it? Basically.
Yep. Because
it's what we keep saying, right? Like, it doesn't matter what the law is. It matters where the guns are, where the force is. If like this is why the legislative branch is fucking dog shit, because they have no guns. Like, the executive branch has all the guns. So if the legislative branch says, hey, the executive branch, you need to release all this shit, and they say no, what are they going to do? What are they going to do about it? Like, literally, what are they going to do about it? Like, Eric Holder being in contempt of court or Congress twice, they did nothing about it because they could do nothing about it because Obama had all the guns,
Hey, who knows? The DOJ is going to prosecute the DOJ for being in contempt of Congress.
It's ridiculous. And that is how America works. That's not how America works. That's how the world works, guys. Force, the supreme authority from which all other authority derives. It's true. Violence. So yeah, we're not getting the rest of those Epstein files.
I've seen Starship Troopers, by the way.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Violence never solves anything. Ask people at Hiroshima and Nagasaki that question.
What would they say about that? Probably nothing. Hiroshima was fucking vaporized. Correct. Yeah, dude, but people still to this fucking day, and it's not even just boomers now, it's the MAGA people too, which I get is a lot of boomers, but they just think that this is a government of the people, still for the people, by the people, that the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Like, you gotta wake up. You gotta wake up.
Here. What good is the Constitution at this point? I can't deport a fucking Tren de Agua fucking El Salvadorian. Can't deport him, multiple time felon. He gets to stay in the United States. But I can invade Iran. It costs me money. Right?
Yeah.
You can lie. The Constitution won't protect me from you locking me down in my house and injecting me with, God knows what. Constitution lets you do that.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
like, dude, it doesn't fucking do it. Every time I turn around, they're making an argument from the constitutional perspective of something that's so common sensely absurd. Like, okay, free country. Yeah, we're going to make you get injected with a vaccine. What? Free country, this guy can fucking stay here, even though he's from Mauritania and we know he's a known terrorist fucking tie. Get him the fuck out of here. Can't. Constitution. Constitution. It's got rights.
He's got to have his day in court. Yeah, he's got rights.
What about my right? And around this fucking guy.
And he just had a baby here, which is now a citizen because the 14th Amendment is, I don't know if you've been paying attention to that shit, the birthright citizenship stuff. The Supreme Court, dude, that Ketanji, and Ketanji, whatever the fuck her face is, dude, she just put the dumbest fucking arguments forward, man. That whole. Oh yeah. In Japan. Oh, if I go to Japan, I'm subject to their government, so I am technically beholden to their government, which means that I would be, in our law, that would mean that I'm a Japanese citizen. What the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? It's anyone who's interested, go listen to that Ketanji Brat, whatever her fucking name is. Listen to her fucking little tirade about why birthright citizenship, the way the law is written, should apply to people who are just here, which is was not the intent of that law. And clearly, when the people who wrote it did not factor in illegal aliens, because that was meant for slaves that were recently freed. Which you can make an argument that maybe they were born here.
They had to pass a law a couple of years later after the 14th Amendment to include American Indians. So it didn't even fucking hit everyone up that was on the continent at the time.
Yeah.
What I'm saying?
Speaking of that same time period, I mean, if you think about the concentration camps that we had here in America in World War II for the Japanese, people forget that like 70%, I think it was 70 to 80% of the people that were in those fucking camps were American citizens, like born, naturalized Japanese people that they're just here. They were U.S. citizens, and the Constitution didn't stop them from fucking having all their assets taken and thrown into camps.
Bro, they had a crazy, I forget what the name of the regiment was, or was it a division or regiment in World War II. They had like a crazy regiment that was all made up of sons of like Japanese internment camp. Like their families were in the internment camps, and they like signed up. They signed up for the U.S. Army to like prove their loyalty to America, and they were like bringing like bonsai charges to like the fucking Germans in Italy. They were like crazy. They were like next to fearless.
Nope, doesn't count. Yeah, I don't know, dude. That's what I'm saying, man. There's just so much evidence that like the Constitution is. It's not that it's meaningless. It's just that it's not backed up by the force of law if the executive branch doesn't want to enforce it or wants to do the opposite.
Too many ins, outs, this, that, the other thing. Your rights are absolute. It's like, okay, freedom of speech. Can I say this? Yeah. No. Technically. Like, look at the hate speech law. I spoke bad about Israel. I go to jail. Second Amendment. Can I have whatever gun I want? No, you can't have whatever gun you want. It's like, all right. They just you chip one thing away, and you don't have any right that you can't enforce at the end of force. That's it. Yeah.
It's all force. It comes down to fucking force. Like, you only have the rights. The only rights you have are the ones that can be backed up with violence. That's it. Outside of that, you don't have any rights. I mean, rights were like, where do rights come from? Well, they come from the Constitution. That's not true. No, they come from guns. That's where they come from. Why do you think they're trying to fucking take them all the time?
Right.
Yeah.
Look at it now in Germany, dude. They just put. I saw that it's all over the internet today. But if you're between the ages of 17 and like 45, you can't. You have to apply for permission to leave within.
Only for men. Apparently, they do know. They do know what genders are. Apparently, because it only applies to men. Yeah. If you're a male, within the draft age or whatever. Yeah, you have to apply or tell your government that you're going to be gone from the country for a certain amount of time, and that's subject to approval. Yeah. And then you saw they expanded our draft age, right? Here in the United States. Yeah. Not only do they expand it, it's automatic now too. So starting end of the year or whatever, it goes into effect. That remember how we used to have to sign up for selective service? Now it's automatic. It is automatic. Why would that be, guys? I don't know. That was signed into law back in last November. So
I'll tell you right now why it is.
Oh, yeah. Why do you think it is, Dan?
Because of the vast illegal alien population of the cranked out fucking kids when they came over here and are not going to sign up for it, but are going to take all the benefits.
Sure.
That's what's happening.
Yeah. Well, by the time Rome fell,
don't want to fight anymore.
Yeah, that's when Rome fell, when Romans didn't want to fight for Rome. And then by the end of Rome, there were hardly any Romans left. And that's why me and Dan were saying that is the real war. That technically I think we might have already lost, but you know, the demographic changes in your country, like I get there's all this suicidal empathy from liberal.
It's not over. It's not over.
Well, it'll never be over as long as me and you are walking around. But I'm just saying, like, it's going to be a fucking tough fight in the future.
Oh, it's an uphill fight. We're down big.
Yeah,
we're talking.
So that's why I'm dressed like this, guys.
Fourth quarter.
If you own a kit, it's not enough to own it. Like me and Dan have had the, I don't know, not misfortune, or we had the privilege of being in a profession where we get used to moving around with kit on. But like, if you own a kit, you need to train with it. You need to just put it on, dude, and fucking go. Like, if you have a day off work, put your kit on and just cook your breakfast and move around with it. Because like, there could be a time when you get thrusted into a fucking combat situation where your life is going to be living in shit like this, and you better get comfortable moving around in it, because it's not comfortable. It's heavy. It's cumbersome. You bump into shit, things catch on stuff, but it'll show you where your equipment is weak. And you know, sometimes you got to put hair ties on your fucking nods so you don't fucking,
I had another light over on, got me backwards. I had another light on this, but I hit a tree the other night and it came off somewhere in the desert. So.
Yeah, I left my ballistic helmet I should have wore that, but that's even heavier and has a lot of shit because you have to have counterweights and all this stuff and batteries and stuff on it. But
you know what I throw this thing for a counterweight is I got a little cell phone battery pack.
Yeah, like, that works.
Yeah, dude, and it's like the perfect weight. Just
I think double A's too, like a pack of like a four pack of double A's. Like if you put that's a good weight. It just depends on how much shit, what kind of shit you have on your helmet. But anyway, equipment, we can talk about that at the end of the episode here. But anyway, yeah, dude. So this Iran thing is clearly not in our interest. It is in the interest of Israel. That it seems to be escalating. I know they moved 7,000 Marines plus the 82nd Airborne. They have the USS Abraham Lincoln, the George W. Bush. There's a third one. I can't remember what it is. There's 3 aircraft carriers in the Gulf there, or in the region around Iran.
Like, come too close either. The missile threat from Iran.
Sure. Apparently, one of them was hit and caused some fires, but they haven't admitted to that yet. It turns out that another thing.
So, like, even these planes being shot down, they're not. And I get why they're doing it, but like, who knows how many of our shit or how many people are actually dead? Because the only way they admit to something is like if you literally have like video of it happening and like from multiple angles and sources. Otherwise, they're like, no, it was a laundry room fire. The Gerald Ford is going to be out of commission for 2 years because of a laundry room fire. And you're like,
yeah. They're basically like toxic girlfriends like that won't admit when they're wrong until they have no other option.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude. You're an asshole. You're an asshole. You want them to win.
Yeah, exactly. Yo, why don't you go fight for Iran then? It's like, no, bitch, I'm fighting for America.
What do you go get with your other bitches then?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
That
Yeah. We've been around enough toxic women to see this behavior before. It's funny when you see it from your own government, but I mean, they're not that much different from toxic women.
Hegseth has been screaming toxic, fucking tatted up, fucking alcoholic.
Yeah. Sure, dude. You saw the Iranian fucking Lego music video they made about him.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great, dude. They understand our culture so well, dude. For them to be able to make these videos just shitting on us in the ways that you could only shit on us if you really understood our culture, which most Americans have no idea.
Did you see that the General Soleimani, the one we killed?
Yeah,
a few years ago. You see that they just deported. They just deported his like daughter and niece.
They just did what?
Deported them. They were living in LA in a mansion. posting pro-Iranian fucking regime shit. So you want to sit here and talk to me about invading Iran? You got the fucking head of the IRGC that you had to missile strike. You got his fucking family living in LA on a green card, and you want to fucking talk to me about invading their country? They've invaded you've let it, not they didn't. You've let them invade my country.
Yes, you've got Soleimani's kids here. You've got Netanyahu's son Yair or whatever. He's in New York right now or Manhattan. I mean, everyone, they're all here. You know what I mean?
Everyone's having a good time but us. Yeah.
Apparently. Well, and the Ukrainians, they don't seem to be having a great time either. And the Russians. But yeah, dude, it's fucking it's madness. Fucking see, Kim Jong-un said that he would nuke Israel if they use the nuke on fucking Iran. Yeah, it's this shit's getting wild, man. Like, I mean, what do you, are we in World War III or is this still a lead up to World War III, you think?
World War III. I think they're categorized World War III all the way from the start of the Ukraine war till ongoing still.
That makes sense.
Because you realize Israel is currently invading Lebanon, and I've been watching Hezbollah hit up Israeli tanks with FPV drones.
Oh yeah,
could look like a desert Ukraine straight out.
Yeah, the Israelis just killed some very prominent Christian. I think he was Catholic. They killed some Catholic priest over there in Lebanon, which I had heard of this guy before. Let me see if I'll pull his name up because it's right here. Father Pierre El Rai. He was killed by Israeli missiles. I guess he was, helping the local Muslim population along with the Christian populations too, because Lebanon has a giant Christian population. It's one of the oldest Christian populations, and Israel just fucking carpet bombed them. Missile strikes, whatever, because they don't give a fuck about killing Christians at all. They blow up churches all the time, even though they're our greatest ally. They really don't like Christians. They don't like anybody who's goy, really, or non-Jew. Let's just say that.
I'm goy.
Yeah, well, goy. We're all goys. Yeah, we're all Rhodesians now.
But anyway, so you got that. You got that shit. You got Ukraine. You got, and then all this shit between Iran, Syria. Over the ousting of Assad. That'll get whacked into World War III. You're in World War III right now. If you look at the amount of countries that have gone down around that area, it's getting close to when the big boys are going to get in. Like if we go into Iran, if we commit ground forces into Iran, that it could be the Taiwan, China going into Taiwan at the same time.
Have you seen what they say their end game is? Like with Trump, because I've seen a lot of different things they've said. I mean, what do you think their end game is? Because Trump, obviously, like you made the joke earlier that he's declared victory like a bunch of times already. But what does victory even look like for America at this point?
He's just throwing victory out there until one day that like enough people are like, oh yeah, I can get this. This is a win. He's gonna throw victory out every day. That's what I think he's doing at this point. I think that their hope was that they would decapitate the regime and they would get a Venezuelan effect. not realizing that these guys are religious fanatics that have been dealing with having the threat of us or killing them for 40 years has been in their mind. Whereas like Venezuela was like a bus driver that got a hold of it and was shaking his ass to like with giant Saturday girls. Like he was like your like quintessential like cigar, like, yeah, you take out him, you can put another dude in there, then he makes life a little bit better for the other people, like different apples to oranges, you know?
Apples to oranges, dude. But this is what I'm saying. Someone who didn't his military commanders, right? Like Aaron always says this, that the goal of the military is to reduce the confusion of the leadership. So somebody in the military should have told him, like, hey, you shouldn't. Well, it's not like we did it, Israel did it, but like killing the Ayatollah, which is like essentially killing the Pope, is not going to foster.
I bet you there were, and then there were people that had giant contracts from wherever, or maybe it isn't, but people that like Pete Hegseth that believe that this is a holy war. Like, dude, like think about it. We've talked about how Netanyahu's party, the Likud party, is like this crazy Armageddon fucking fan fest, right?
Yeah, they're a death cult. Yeah,
and the craziest part on all this is that the Iranians seem like the least crazy out of all of us, right? Because now you got Hegseth, who's also on board with like, we're fighting this so that Jesus Christ can come back.
Yeah.
You got him, and then you have like your crazy fucking Iranians, which, you know, the programming in my life, I grew up like in the 80s and 90s, like watching like terrorists being like, you know, for the Ayatollah, like they're
death
like,
to America.
How are you guys going crazier than us? Like,
yeah.
But that's what happens, dude, is you get these people, they have an agenda, they get in there, and you get enough people around them, and Trump, listen, Trump is in bed with the Israelis. We knew it. I knew it, voted for him. I just did not expect this.
Yeah, you can go back and look at our episode. I think it was called Trump's Not That Guy or something. But me and Dan both talked about how we were going to vote for Trump, what we wanted to get out of it. Because remember, in 2016 to 2020, Trump had the no new wars guy. He was the no new wars guy. He literally did not start any new wars. So we had reason to believe that he would not have started any new wars. We knew Israel was his biggest weakness, that they had a hold of him. I don't think we realized, and I've told this to several people, I did not foresee the degree to which that was going to be a fucking problem. And it turned out to be a massive fucking problem. It might be a worse problem than what Kamala would have done, honestly. I don't know. I think there's an argument to be made.
Yeah, I'm losing you here for a sec. But yeah, dude, like, no new wars. And like, really, I had written off Gaza. I was like, Gaza's gone, whatever. But as long as he does what I want elsewhere, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
You know,
he freed Ross, secured the border. You know, I thought deportations were going to happen because, you know, he seemed like that was his base wanted it. He had a mandate. He had the House and the Senate. I mean, I was like, oh yeah, he's going to get that done. And then turns out, dude, we literally did not get a fucking thing. Not a fucking thing. Like he secured the border, but then like immediately did this massive fucking H-1B program, which is, me and Aaron went over why that's a problem. Legal immigration is every bit as a problem as this illegal immigration shit. Especially the countries they're importing people from, India, China, all that stuff. Yeah, dude, MAGA got really fucked, man. And I don't understand how they're just, the MAGA people still can't see it. And they released that bullshit fucking CNN poll. I don't know if you saw this, where it was like 100% of MAGA Republicans agree with this war. And they just defined MAGA Republicans as anyone who agrees with the war. It's like, that's not a tautology. That's not a circular argument, you know, like, oh, 100% of people who agree with this war. They might as well just said that, you know, which is retarded, because if you look at the MAGA Republicans and then the overall Republican conservatives, MAGA is now a minority of Republicans. It is not the majority of Republicans. Yeah, dude. And then his coalition, he pretty much nuked over the Epstein files. And whatever he didn't nuke with the Epstein files, he nuked with the war that he started for Israel. Yeah, dude, it's been a whole fucking It's been a whole rug pull, just like Tim Dillon said. It's a giant fucking rug pull, and America is in a worse position because of it. And people just need to fucking admit that already. I mean, don't lead the evidence, go where the evidence leads. And the evidence leads that this shit is not in our interest. It does not benefit America. We're going to start feeling a bunch of bullshit economically. There's likely going to be terror attacks. Like, I know DHS is getting all these warnings about, take extra precautions over the holidays because they're predicting these sleeper cells or whatever. Like, and then if you blow up a school full of girls, like if you did that, and imagine if like China just blew up some fucking like girls' school in fucking Nebraska or something, what America would do. Not even just the American people, but the American government. And then imagine they blew up a military school kids, like what those military operators would do to the country who did that. They might take it of their own volition and just go to those countries. And like, if my daughter was killed in some attack from some foreign government and my government wasn't doing anything about it, I'm fucking getting blood one way or another. I'm doing what I got to do. I will find a way, and look, I'm not advocating that, but that's a reality, cause effect. It's physics. Every action has an equal reaction. Yeah, dude. I mean, MAG is a complete failure at this point. It was a failure 6 months ago. Like now it's just a whole different kind of failure. And then if they do end up committing ground troops, like I think the plan last I heard was to invade Karg Island, which is a little island right there off the Strait of Hormuz, which they may use the Marines to do that and then drop the 82nd Airborne or whatever. Imagine you just drop all these troops in, you secure that island, because they could do that if they wanted to. Those troops are going to suffer horrendous casualties because obviously Iran has demonstrated that we can't stop all their missiles. We can't stop their drones yet. We don't have the production and the defense capabilities to stop them completely. And then now you just gave them a target-rich environment in that island. They're all concentrated. They're going to have to be fortifying defenses and stuff. And while they're doing that, they're just going to get rained on by fucking Chinese and Russian fucking ordinances. And conventional artillery too at that point because it's close enough. And then, a little fucking $20,000 to $50,000 drones flying at us nonstop. And we're going to shoot our anti-air missiles that cost, $1 million a piece, upwards of millions a piece. They don't have to win the war. They just have to last.
There we go.
Okay. You got to figure out.
I had to just jury rig the sweatiest, most disgusting fucking.
That's okay. I was going off on a rant there about why this is fucking stupid. It's not hard to do. I mean, we're just a couple of fucking idiot savages, and we fucking clearly can make the case. Like, I could argue this in court, why this is for Israel, why it's not in America's interest, and the specifics of how bad this is going to hurt us and the ways to which it's going to hurt us. Some of I've already laid out. It's just dumb. So we're not arguing for the Iranian regime. Fuck that regime.
Did you see where Marco Rubio was like, yeah, Iran is wasting all its money on weapons and missiles, and it should be making its life better for its people. And then like 2 days later, Trump is like, we can't be worried about Medicare or Medicaid or
mass deportations or infrastructure or fucking any of this stuff. Yeah, dude, it's the it's almost like he's taking a play from the fucking Israelis, dude. They cry out as they strike you. Like everything they're accusing everyone else of doing, they're fucking doing. And that's just so obvious, dude. It's obvious to me. There is no plan here. You can tell because the narrative keeps changing every fucking day. Nobody can tell you, like, it's like Iraq 2.0 or Afghanistan 2.0. Like, they can't tell you what winning even looks like. I have no fucking idea. Like, what the Iranians just surrendered? They've rejected every ceasefire we've offered them. Because why would they take it? Every time they take one, we just use that time to fucking get in a better position to murder more of them.
Yeah, and they're winning right now currently because they're not fighting. I mean, militarily wise. I mean, Trump's right. He was crying the other day about how and the New York Times writes, you think we're getting blown off? We're militarily doing way more damage to them than they are to us.
Sure,
but they don't need to.
No,
our shit costs way more. It's in their backyard. The logistics is harder. Everything is slanted in their favor.
Yeah,
from where they're at. And then on top of it, they're fucking with the petrodollar.
Yeah. The pain they're inflicting on us is indirect, you know? And it's very
in the beginning, attack the resource generating apparatus. Let's talk about fraud, but this is another mechanism of it. You're fighting like a strategic resource battle on them.
Sure. I mean, they're blowing up oil fields. We're blowing up oil fields. I mean, you got Mossad allegedly blowing up the largest oil fields in Saudi, you know, but they're hitting all the Gulf states. I mean, the Strait of Hormuz is closed and we cannot open it, regardless of what Trump is saying. We can't open it militarily. I mean, the second we put any kind of military equipment in there, it's going to get blown to shit by fucking $20,000 drones, you know? Yep. It's just a fucking terrible position for him to be in. And then now he can't claim victory without being able to point to something. So I'm trying to say, like, what can he point to where he's going to be like, that's it. That's our victory right there. Like what? Like Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz. They already do that. So that can't be a fucking victory. I mean, I don't even know at this point. They didn't do a regime change. They just killed the Ayatollah and then his son took over. They're going to kill him. What? And then like
Netanyahu's still alive or no?
I don't fucking know, dude. I mean, I know there's those AI things that he was putting out and I think he is alive. But if he's smart, like they definitely want to kill that guy and they've proven they can kill that guy. I mean, he's been in the air most of the time or in Germany or, you know, he's been all over the place anywhere but fucking Israel. For good reason.
Because I saw a video and it brought up a great point. They were like, and it was our media here that they like, after that, a whole entire rumor started up that he was dead.
Yeah.
He did like a teleconference, like a web teleconference where he took questions from the press. And then our media went and spliced it. And actually the Israeli media called out our media on it. Spliced a picture and put reporters like in the same room as Netanyahu, even though it was, and it's like, well, and then you read it was basically an article shooting on the U.S. press about like, yo, this was teleconference, video conference, like everyone was asking questions, but I haven't seen the dude around, and I'm kind of like,
no one has, yeah.
It's like, how do they get out and declare victory on this?
I mean, if they kill him, if they kill Netanyahu, would that change anything? Do you think?
Different politicians, for me, like I don't think Trump is going to be able to declare victory.
I don't know.
Even if he puts boots on the ground, it's not a victory because like his entire promise was no new wars. It's already lost as a defeat. So the only way you're going to get a victory is a new political figure to be in power in these places.
Yeah. So now we're looking at how bad is he going to lose? That's what we're looking at. If he does a ground invasion, that's Vietnam, which is a pretty bad loss. If he just cuts his losses now, which there's no indicator that he will do that, it'll still be a loss, but at least he can be like, hey, we removed the Ayatollah, I guess, you know, like we damaged their
capabilities. So they couldn't be degraded that much.
Yeah. We degraded their abilities by letting them blow up all our shit with their missiles, you know? Yeah. It's like I won the fight by letting him hit me in the face a bunch of times till he got tired. You know, it's fucking stupid.
The purpose, the problem is we keep on going to see there's no purpose for this war. The purpose of this war is for greater Israel to get these they've said it. They'd rather have a bunch of small bad guys as actors in the region than saying Iran is a good guy, than a big good guy, but it's a big guy that they don't like.
Sure.
So they want to break it all up. That's it. It's regime change. They don't care if it becomes a Libya. They don't care if it becomes, it just can't be what it is currently. So that's, I guess, what they're going to continue to fight for until it happens or we somehow break this goddamn spell that's held over.
Well, if they want to destroy Iran, they haven't done that yet. And it doesn't seem like they're about to do that. That seems like a pretty cohesive society right now. The IRGC has a couple 100,000 soldiers that are pretty cohesive. All the leadership is still intact for the most part. Obviously, they've killed a bunch of people, but that hasn't really, you can't
next man up. They are the next man up. I got to give them credit. They are the next man up of countries. If they were a pro football team, bro, they'd be like in the Super Bowl and they'd be like, this guy was a bench player at the start of the season.
Well, they have more stomach for this war than the American population does. That's for sure. Until either Iran does something stupid and attacks us on American soil, or they false flag us, those are both possibilities. I mean, I'm gonna.
I've seen the Iranians put out a bunch of statements that we're not fighting, we're not against the American people. We know that you guys don't want this. I saw them even do some guy did like a real good lecture on. It was like, you voted Donald Trump in because he said there wouldn't be any new wars. We understand that people don't want this shit.
Yeah, they don't, and it's very unpopular. Anyone who pays attention to American politics knows, unless you're MAGA, everyone else knows how unpopular this fucking war is, dude. I think it's like 24%, 27%. That's not a majority by any stretch. That means everyone else is fucking against it, or at least doesn't want it. Yeah, dude. So I think this is just a question of how bad are we going to lose this situation. But I think we are going to lose no matter what happens.
It's a loss already, dude.
It's a lot. It's right now. If he just walks away right now, it's a huge loss. But it could get worse. It could definitely get worse. He could commit those 7,000 Marines in the 82nd Airborne.
What would make this a win for you?
Well, for me personally, it would be him cutting out right now. Like, cut right now. Cut your losses. You know, like you're at the casino.
But that's still even a loss.
Yeah.
You're at the casino. You lost. You just mitigated your losses. Okay.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I don't see a situation where this is a win for us.
Like I'm fighting fucking Kazmat or some shit. I'm fighting some fucking guy right now, and he's beating my fucking ass. For a win for me in that situation, I'm not gonna get lucky and knock him out. Maybe he chokes me out, and that's a good situation. The best scenario would be like he's beating me so bad he just feels bad, gets up off me, and walks away. Like that would be a win for me. You know, even though I lost, it would be a win because, like I said, you're at the casino. You've already lost most of your money. You know, like you're just going to keep fucking putting money on, hoping that you win it at the end. Like that's not a strategy, dude. That's a fallacy called the sunken cost.
But even what would be a win from us invading Iran? Like, what's like your dream scenario of like what the eyes of the U.S. or even not just me personally, but the U.S. Like, what do we get?
Ground invasion in Tel Aviv. I don't know. Yeah, if I'm just ballparking or just a perfect world here, I guess they start negotiating again. We don't kill their negotiation teams this time. We negotiate
with us.
I know. You said what would be.
Yeah,
you're right.
But even then, it's still a loss, dude, because of the entire thing. The second we hit the go button on this, it was a loss. That's why it's so stupid. You know what I'm saying? Now it's a matter of like you're not gonna him claiming victory, which is one of the most hilarious. Every time they troll him about claiming victory, that's one of the funniest things because I'm like, the second you hit the button, you lost.
Yeah.
Like there is no.
It's George Bush 2003. Remember, mission accomplished.
Yeah, dude. It's all. Listen, I've been around long enough. I've been around the block.
Yep.
I've had enough toxic Pete Hegseths in my life. You know.
Yeah.
There's
and you kind of glossed over earlier, how saying that like the Greater Israel thing and Armageddon, all this, like there are people in the government right now who you can go look at Pete Hegseth's speech on this, talking about rebuilding Solomon's temple in the West Bank, you know. So Israel's in the process of annexing that part of Lebanon that it needs for the Greater Israel. It's already, Gaza's done. I don't know if they're going to kill everyone or move them somewhere else. Gaza's gone. Gaza is gone. They're going to take the West Bank. They're in the process right now of taking the West Bank. More every day. More settlers move in. They'll have that too soon, probably within a year or two. And they'll take all that. Syria is essentially fallen. I mean, Jelani is their puppet. Some would say the emir of Al Qaeda in Syria, but whatever. The president of Syria, and then Egypt. They're amassing along their border because they know that, I mean, the Greater Israel involves some of Egypt. So the Saudis are too weak.
All the way to the Nile.
Yeah, the Saudis are too weak to do anything. Yeah, I mean, the Greater Israel thing looks like it's coming to fruition. And then Benjamin Netanyahu, when this first kicked off, he said that this was the culmination of his life's work. So even if you killed, go ahead.
Here's the next one. And the United States is gonna leave NATO so they can attack Turkey.
Oh God. God, you know what? That would be a win for me if we left NATO. It's not a good reason why we left NATO, but
then we have to go to war with NATO because we attacked an Article 5 country.
what the fuck are they going to do? What are they going to do? We are NATO, so if we leave NATO, it's just basically whatever, you know. I mean, the Germans, you see the state that they're in. I mean, half of their fucking fighting age males are fucking Shia Muslims. England's fallen a long time ago. We have nothing to fear from NATO. I guess they have nukes, but so does Israel, allegedly. Even though they have the Samson option, which if anyone's not familiar with that, that's their, if for some reason they do start losing whatever war they're engaged in, they have a plan to nuke the West essentially, and some of the Arab countries basically nuke these places, so that nobody wins, in the event they lose. I think there is an element of the government right now, the Trump administration, that does want this greater Israel thing to come to fruition because they are crazy fucking Zionist Protestants that think in order for Jesus to come back, that the prophecy in the Old Testament has to come true, meaning that Israel's made whole, the greater Israel thing. The second temple is rebuilt, the one that the Romans destroyed, few decades after Christ died. That gets rebuilt. The red heifer comes. Then the war against the Antichrist in a place called Megiddo, part of Israel, is going to take place, and then Jesus is going to come back, lead the army, and then Armageddon's going to happen, and then me and Dan are going to be left behind like Kirk Cameron or whatever, and we're going to have to, try to get back in God's good graces as Catholics or whatever. All right. So we should talk about that just real quick. How, for the Easter Mass, they allowed the Protestant masses, but they didn't allow the Catholic Mass for whatever reason. And I think that really has to do with this Israel thing, because the Catholics and the Orthodox, for that matter, are not super historically friendly to the Judeo Christian message at all. That's
why I actually didn't even really know about like this whole entire like
I was a Catholic boy, bro. I went to Catholic school.
I know, same, like I had to go to I didn't know about like this whole entire Israel
Schofield Bible,
like cucking that they did. I just thought that we had like some arguments with the Protestant over like who should be Pope or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't realize that shit until probably 2010-ish. And you know what I'm saying? It wasn't even like in my mind forever. And then like someone, where was I? I want to say I was in Texas. And this guy was like, "Oh yeah, my parents, they donate 10% of their paycheck to Israel." And I'm like, and I'm talking in this guy's accent.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? He's like 10% of their, 10% every, I'm like, what? Why? He's like, because they are God's chosen people, and we must. I'm like, the fuck are you talking about, dude? And he started walking me down the rabbit hole. I was like, really? Like, I didn't know that shit at all. And then I started looking into it.
You were on one of those episodes that we did. I think it was one that me, you, Aaron, and Bert did, where we were talking about how the Israelis spent all this money geofencing fucking Protestant churches to reach out to basically propagandize into that line of thinking. And they've got a hold of the Protestants completely. The Catholics and the Orthodox have pretty much, their Bible is not a post-Schofield Bible, so they still believe in the old original text. And there's a reason why the Catholics were the ones who initiated the Crusades, and the Crusades were not just against the Muslims, guys. They waged war against the Jews as well. This is I don't know, man. This is a angle that can't be neglected or not talked about, because it is actually a part of this whole puzzle piece. Is this eschatology, which is basically, eschatology just means like the end game of certain religions, and the Protestants have wholly been brought under the wing of the Israelis or the Jews, whatever, Talmudic Jews, into thinking that bringing about Armageddon is something that you can do on purpose instead of just letting it play out the way the Catholics and the Orthodox would say. They're actively trying to make this prophecy happen. So is it really a prophecy? Like if I order a steak and I'm like, I prophesied that my steak is going to show up medium well. You know, even though I ordered the steak medium well, was that really fulfillment of a prophecy? I mean, I made it fucking happen, you know? So these people think they can make it happen. That's the key difference between the Protestants and the Catholics and the Orthodox, the progenitor religions, is they're actively trying to make this shit happen. The Jews too. So this Judeo-Christian myth bullshit that was force-fed onto us basically didn't really exist till the 1800s and wasn't really popularized till way later than that. That's why you see Ben Shapiro and these fucking people saying this is a Judeo-Christian nation. That would not have been something they said in the formation of the country. That's not something they would have said. Thomas Jefferson actually has quite a few rants against the Jewish religion, saying it had no place here in America. And he's one of the founding fathers, if anybody wants to look into it. Yeah, dude, that whole thing, like they always, like I said, they cry out as they strike you. They're fucking calling the Iranians.
Just look at this. Just look at this. They dragged us into this fucking war.
Sure.
They dragged us into this war. You want to be like, I can't stand Bannon at this point. He's terrible. But one thing he says is
on the Epstein list. Yeah.
Yeah. You're a protectorate. We protect you. You don't dictate how things are going on. And that's not how the relationship is working. We have literally, it's like having like you being like the big bully in an 80s movie and having like the twerp bully like sit there and talk shit, and then you having to constantly get into fights. That's where we're at. And that's why the founding fathers, did not want us to have foreign entanglements. We're getting brought into all this bullshit over there that is of no benefit to us. If you want to go the constitutionary route, if you want to go a whole entire religious, ethical, ethnocentric fucking route, whatever, that's a whole nother argument. But like, as far as like the Constitution and like the founding of this country was supposed to be limited entanglements to foreign fucking places. We literally are, our balls are in a vice, and we're getting dragged into fucking all these wars all over the places. Yeah, ludicrous.
So we're at 1 hour and 6 minutes here. Let me ask you a question that is kind of become my litmus test for how people think about all of this, not just the Iranian war, but just everything that's going on. What do you think an American is, Dan?
Fuck.
Yeah, I don't want to put you on the spot here, but what do you think it is? What do you think it means to be an American?
Nowadays, dude?
Well, no, not nowadays. I mean, because there is. What do you think it is? Because I think that's what matters. That's what you think.
America, an American used to be to me would be that someone that was like loved the idea of having the ability to create their own future, their own like world. Okay. Was willing to take chances, was willing to speak their mind, was willing to like do all the shit that like other places would be like I think about America. I think about some dude having fireworks on a lawn chair, drinking beer while being pulled by an ATV and shooting off fucking an AR-15. That's what like only an American would do that. There's no European doing that, right? Because it's like all of our shit combined into one. It's excess, it's guns.
Maybe the Polish. I don't know.
Right. The Polish, the Russians do some crazy shit too. But like that to me was an American. So like willing to take risks. That was something that was like more American. I'd say a person who's American is a higher tolerance to risk than other people, I guess, if I would shorten it down to anything.
I agree.
Probably it.
I agree. It's about individual liberty, freedom over everything. There is a Christian ethos, and I say this as a non-Christian, right? Like I'm not a religious person anymore, but I think that is, I can't deny that it's at the very heart of what I think Americans are. They have like a European ethos, like Western Christian, sensibilities. Like you said, the right to pursuit of individual.
Yeah, but there's also like a sense of responsibility too, because like that's what like you'll have like we'll just take like something like African or
why'd you choose African? Okay, yeah.
They'll take the robbing a store is a risk, but it's also there is no like personal responsibility or accountability on that action. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sure,
it's a, you know, I'd say willingness to take risks, but also having like some personal responsibility is, you know, you can't have freedom without personal responsibility. So
yeah, you feel like a sense of you're beholden to each other, right? Like you're all trying to cooperate in this high trust environment where you have the same culture as me. You're my brother. You're my sister. You like, I care about you on some fundamental level as one of my tribe. And when you import tens of millions of people who do not share that culture or that sensibility, what do you fucking think happens? You know what I mean? Like you get a situation where you have to fucking lock up things at Walgreens. You get into a situation where it's like you have to look over your shoulder when you're walking down the street, you know, in some neighborhoods. Like you get into a situation where there is no tie that binds us together anymore. And this is why we were saying earlier in the episode about how immigration is really the war that we should be fighting and should be talked about, because it's destroying the fucking country. And it's not a racial thing at all, although that's part of it. It's just one part of it. It's a. Oh
no, dude! You could tell. Like, so say, you know, you're saying all Americans are white. Negative,
well, no, I don't say that.
You could. No, but like people will say that. Like,
sure.
I can tell straight out right away, like immigrant families that have been here will say really since before 2000.
Yeah.
Before the turn of millennia. It's night and day difference, bro.
Sure.
The closer you get to them being here and you're seeing more and more of this fraud being exposed on the entire immigration system, the more and more it's a completely different mindset of person.
I agree.
You came here. It's just.
For me, it's never been a racial thing, although I do think there is some component of that, only as much as it overlaps with culture. Like to be culturally American has just been so degraded.
But the reason why those cultures, they brought their cultures in and they were forced to become Americans is because you didn't drop 1 million of them at a time in Ohio where they could just form their shitty little fucking culture that they had.
Yeah.
They had to come in and assimilate, and then their kids, you know, were even further down. And then by the time their kids are American, their grandkids are definitely fucking American.
Sure.
Whereas now you're looking at having like, I mean, you deal with it on down where you're like, oh, I am a United States citizen. And you're like, yeah, but you're not an American.
You're not an American.
Yeah.
Did you watch that shitty ass movie, the Civil War movie, Civil War?
No.
I
saw the propaganda a mile away.
But there is one scene that I think about all the time, and it's the most popular one. It's where I forget. It's a very great actor. I forget his name. Sorry, sir.
Yeah, what kind of American?
American are you? And then he starts shooting the people that, like, he's like, "Where are you from?" And he's like, "Hong Kong." He's like, "Oh, China." Boom, and shoots them. You know what I mean? Like that was encapsulating like. But he asked the rest of the group, and one's from Colorado, one's from Florida, one's from, Arkansas, like, and he's like, okay, you guys are American, you're American, you're American. You're from where? From China or from wherever. Like, yeah, dude, like you're not an American. Like there is such thing as an American. So just being born here does not make you an American. This is what my point is.
Like if I went to Japan and I became a Japanese citizen, I wouldn't say I'm Japanese.
No, fuck no, because it means more, right? It means
American.
It means more than just being born there. Like are you part of the culture? So, but they've degraded the culture so much. Like, that's why you were having a hard time. And you were like, you mean modern America? Cause you're right. Modern America is a complete clusterfuck of this melting pot idea that does not work. And it hasn't worked anywhere. We used to just call those invasions, but now we call them melting pots. It still comes with the exact same problems as it did 1,000 years ago. You take a bunch of people from other places and put them in different places. You don't change those people. You change the place. Especially when you do it 10 million people at a time. You get little Somalia, you get Chinatown, you get little Italy, you get Dearborn, Michigan. I used to point to Europe and be like, look at France. Look at these places where the cops are being run out of these no-go zones that used to be a myth, but now is widely known. They're called no-go zones because literally they have their own culture there that is not French, And that's happening in America. And
Well, an invasion.
Yeah, it's a fucking invasion. It is an invasion, like without a shot being fucking fired. That is the real war. That is a straight up war. And the problem with that war is people don't even know you're fighting it. Like at least with Iran, everyone, regardless of what Trump or Pete Hegseth says, we know that's a war. We don't realize that it is a war that is going on domestically when we imported tens of millions of people in the last, 10, 20, 15 years.
Well, we just focus on illegal immigration too, but
yeah,
no, you don't focus on the legal immigration. That's why, like Trump posted something about, like I think they posted today on, if you could pull it up on the White House, he was like, import the third world, become the third world, and then all the comments are just everyone shitting on him about H-1B visas, student visas, net job gains being for foreigners, not for Americans. It's literally, it was like, yo, somebody get Unk somebody fact check Unk at the White House there. Someone let him know what the status of life is really going on. Like, it's ridiculous.
Let me pull this up. The White House, boom.
It's like, I keep in mind, this is after he shit canned mass deportations, went after Bonvino.
Oh, that's someone we haven't even talked about. Fucking Dan Bongina. Yeah, that guy's falling apart exactly as he should have. Oh man, they're pretty prolific in their posts.
Find it for you.
Yeah, find it for me, and then just give me the date that it's on. But yeah, either way, it's today.
Yeah.
From the White House?
Yeah.
Let me go to the top here.
They just apparently got someone. They got the arrest. They rescued the what do you call it? The pilot.
Oh, the outstanding one.
Yep. Here, 9 hours ago. If you import the third world, you become the. You want me to send it to you?
Yeah, send it to me. Oh, I see it. Okay, here it is.
Look at the comments on this.
I got it. Let me pull this up. Share screen. If you import the third world, you become the third world. you see it? Yeah, if I could see Aziz Ansari's face.
Straight up comes off. Dude, you're literally swarming the country with H-1B tech jobs.
All right. Hold on.
Okay.
Here's the comments. You're literally swarming the country with H-1B tech jobs. Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
March, go back up to that one.
This one?
Yeah.
March jobs report 2 very different Americas, plus 806,000 foreign-born workers, negative 194,000 native-born workers, unchanged since 2019. It's back to an all-time high, 806,000 foreign-born workers. Foreign-born employment is growing 42 times faster than native. Well, it's because Americans are lazy, Dan. Faster than native-born since 2019. 6 years of population growth, 0 net job gain. It's worse than net job gains. It's 194,000 loss for native-born workers. Yeah, dude, this is a fucking war, guys. This is a war. That's a war. And then that is going to be infinitely more impactful than whatever the fuck is going on in the fucking Levant, in the Middle East. Yeah, dude. And there's you have the offals, the affluent white.
Someone hits up but it's like, hey, has anyone had this guy actually go to a Costco? Or there you go to literally any Costco or airport.
Right here. Right here. Dissident West. Go to literally any airport or Costco in the country, and you'll see it's already too late. That's what I was saying, dude. Like maybe we've already lost this fight to JD Vance's family. Yeah, his chances are not great in 2020.
Zero.
Yeah, they'll lose the midterms, as they probably should. It has already happened in Texas, peeing on sidewalks, 80-foot Hindu temples, 15 feet from homes, 75-foot God statues, jobs, tech, teaching. Yeah, oh my God, culture erased. That's what I'm saying. Your culture is your country. If that gets erased, your country is gone. And like, I think we're well into that, dude. Yeah, dude. So, I mean...
Yeah, but if you go down this, it's just literally, and it's hilarious now. They were the greatest memeing presidency ever to start off. He was killing it. Now, just because he's been so bad with policy, everything he says is just, he gets destroyed on everywhere. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's an invasion. It's an invasion, dude. And people, you MAGA people who think Trump's not facilitating this invasion, he most certainly is. I'll go back to the episode me and Aaron did on legal immigration, and we broke down the numbers and why it's a problem, the whole deal. Oh, fuck, bro. All right, we're out hour and 20. What do you want to end with, dude? What do you want to tell people? If you own a kit, fucking
run
around in it, get used to it, because a lot of people, have a fucking, a Daniel Defense with the fucking $1,500 rifle.
Guys, you only need like 6 people that you know. Get 6 people.
Fire team
together. That's it. And it's what everyone needs to start doing. 6 people that you know, not internet friends, not people
and trust
online. 6 people. Yep. Me and him. We talk. Yep. We mention a name all the time. We BS with the person. We BS with this guy, that guy. Would never, ever in 100 years, ever be in the group of 6 with us.
No. Cannot be trusted. So yeah, dude.
Know the difference between your buddy and a dude that, it's that scene in where we're going to hurt some people. We're going to do some bad things. And I can never ask you. You can never ask any questions. And I never want to hear it again. He's like, what car are you?
Yeah, whose car are we taking? Whose car are we taking?
Like that level right there.
Yeah, and you should only know about 6 of those people, because those people are very hard to come by. And the way you start is by making jokes, and then make the jokes get darker, and then they start sending you more darker jokes, and then you start to get a sense of what their social media algorithm is. That's a good way to vet somebody. But don't get fucking Gretchen Whitmired, where 5 of your 6 friends are fucking
dudes you met online that are
they're
all feds.
Yeah, dude. That's good advice. All right, dude. Fucking One Way Out. We covered a lot of shit. We'll talk about Dan Bongina's fall from grace here. He saw the Epstein files, knows that he killed himself, but refuses to tell us what he saw, even though it's all public now, allegedly.
I'll get up. I'll try to get up to the place, dude. Get it.
Yeah, dude. We'll do an in-person one, and maybe Aaron will be back from fucking trying to find a Latina bride. But all right, dude. Fucking episode 164 or 64. One Way Out, dude.
Later.